The Warren Commission, of course, is a complete fraud and has to be understood as a major attempt by the government of the United States to deceive the American people and the world concerning the involvement of elements of the Central Intelligence Agency in the murder of President Kennedy. The Warren Commission has to be understood historically not as an investigative commission, but as a concord, as a committee that was appointed in order to reach a pact of accord, like the Treaty of Utrecht or something like that. It wasn't an instrument searching for truth. So what it represents are the major elements of American society. Senator Richard Russell, who was head of the Senate Armed Forces Committee, John J. McCloy, who was head of the predecessor intelligence agency, the OSS, and leader of the financial community, and one after the other, Allen Dulles, the former head of the CIA, all people gathered together in order to protect the involvement of the United States government in the murder of its own president. So consequently, with the help of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which systematically obscured, faked, destroyed, and hid evidence, the Warren Commission was able to try to make a presentation seeking to show that Oswald was a lone assassin. Well, of course, the truth is, Oswald was not the assassin at all. There were a number of assassins, none of whom were Oswald, all of whom were connected with the Central Intelligence Agency, and all of whom were and have been protected by the United States government systematically ever since. And they continue to be protected by the United States government because the United States government, well, as a whole, did not initiate the assassination. As a whole, it ratified the assassination. And it has continued to cover it up and will continue to, as long as it can, to keep the people of the world from knowing that elements of the CIA were involved in the murder of Jack Kennedy. Back in February 1967, that would be, I guess 9 years ago, this coming February, I brought out at interviews with the New Orleans State Sergeant and other elements of the press that it was obvious that the Central Intelligence Agency was in the business of assassination, was in the business of domestic espionage, and particularly that elements of the Central Intelligence Agency, not the entire structure, but elements of the CIA were involved in the assassination of President Kennedy. Well, the general reaction was that I was a nut, and this caused the press to assume that my investigation was a hoax and we were wasting our time, although I think that some new evaluation is occurring in that area. But I want to emphasize that I haven't had to change my position at all. It's clear that elements of the CIA were involved, and there's going to be more and more evidence showing the involvement of the CIA. But I don't know how far down the road we'll be able to get, because the